Thanks for existing, don't come. That's what my dad texted me on Christmas Eve. No reason, no greeting, just those cold words, like I was being officially cut off. I sat on my bedroom floor, staring at the message, hoping it would somehow change or soften. It didn't. Meanwhile, my parents and sister were all together, celebrating like everything was perfect, without me, again. For the past year and a half, I've been paying for everything, rent, groceries, and bills. My sister, Kelly, said she lost her job, so I helped her while she got back on her feet. I didn't complain, I just paid. Because that's what family does, right? The night before Christmas, she got ready to go to dinner at our parents' house. Before she left, she said, "Oh, if they ask, I told them you're kind of just crashing here, since your name isn't on the lease." She didn't say it like a joke, she meant it. I stopped washing the dishes and asked, "You told them what?" She rolled her eyes. "Relax, it's easier this way. I didn't want them thinking I let you live here for free." "But I am paying the rent," I said. "Yeah, well, they don't need to know that." Then she walked out. I didn't call, I didn't explain, I just sat at the table, staring at the cheap lights I put up, wondering why I kept sacrificing for people who acted like I didn't matter. By midnight, I made up my mind. I grabbed the toolkit, opened the closet, and changed the locks. No fear, no guilt. That night, for the first time, the apartment felt like mine, peaceful. The next morning, I heard someone trying to open the door. Keys rattling, swearing, knocking, then silence. I didn't open the door. But I left her something. 2 gift-wrapped boxes sat on the doormat, one still moving. It all started small, buying extra groceries, then covering rent, then helping with her student loans. She always said she'd pay me back. When she lost another job, I didn't question it, I just worked more, took extra shifts, sold stuff, stopped traveling, dating, everything, so I could help her. I kept thinking it was temporary. But it never was, it just became normal, then expected, then silent. What do you even say to someone who lets you pay for everything, then lies to your parents and says you're just squatting? Kelly always knew how to spin things to make herself look like the victim and me like the problem. As kids, she cried to get out of trouble. As adults, she cried to get money. Our parents loved her, free spirit. They'd laugh and say she was a little chaotic, but sweet. Me? I was the serious one, too cold, too strict. But when love always has conditions, you eventually stop being warm. I stopped going to family dinners months ago, not because I didn't care, but because I couldn't take the guilt trips. "She's struggling. You're the stable one, why can't you be more understanding?" Truth was, I was just tired. Tired of paying for everything. Tired of being treated like a burden. Tired of pretending everything was okay. Then, a few weeks before Christmas, I came home from a 12-hour shift with takeout for both of us. She didn't look up from her phone. "Can you Venmo me for my half?" I blinked. "You mean the food I bought with my money? You haven't paid rent in months." She shrugged. "Yeah, but you chose to do that. I didn't ask you. You've been asking me all year." "Well, no one forced you." That's when I realized she didn't feel bad, not even a little. She wasn't using me because she had to. She was using me because I let her. A week later, I saw a credit card bill. It wasn't mine, but it had my name. Turns out, she opened a credit card using my identity. Over $6,000. Makeup, clothes, Apple products, spa visits, a tattoo. I called the company. They confirmed it. She used my social security number and email. She stole my identity. I didn't confront her right away. I just stayed quiet, watched, took notes, saved screenshots. I saw her walk around the apartment in new boots and an Apple Watch, laughing with her friends on FaceTime, calling me my stupid brother even though I was right there. At first, I thought I'd wait until New Year's, or maybe February, to say something, let the guilt grow, let her wonder. But then Christmas came, and that message from my dad. "Thanks for existing, don't come." And later that night, Kelly sipped wine and smirked. "I mean, can you really expect them to see you as family? You act like a tenant, you don't belong." So I changed the locks. I still gave her the gifts I'd bought for her, because I'm not heartless. But I added one more. A second box. Inside, a copy of the credit card bill, with her name written in red marker, a flash drive with audio recordings, clips of her laughing and bragging to friends. In one clip, she says, "Honestly, he deserves it. He's like a bank with no overdraft fees. Why wouldn't I take advantage?" I put my phone inside the box, set to vibrate on repeat. I wanted her to feel the way I'd been feeling all year, nervous, unsure, shaken. I was heating leftovers when the banging on the door started. Not knocking, banging, like she wanted to break the door down. But I felt calm. I opened the door slowly. Kelly stood there, hair messy, makeup smudged, holding the silver box. "What is this?" she yelled. I tilted my head. "A Christmas present." It was vibrating. "I know, did you open it?" She didn't answer. "You should," I said, stepping aside. "Come in, since you don't have keys anymore." She stomped in and dropped the box on the table. She tore it open and froze. Inside, a stack of screenshots from her texts, calling me a freeloader and a walking paycheck. A flash drive labeled, "For Dad, play this if you still have a spine." A sticky note that said, "Your lease is up, emotionally and otherwise." She turned to me, furious. "You're heartless." "No," I said, "just done." My phone buzzed. It was a call from Dad. I answered on speaker. "Son, what is going on? Your sister told us what you did. That was cruel. What happened to family?" I laughed. "You mean the family that told me not to come to Christmas?" "That wasn't about you," he said. "You've been cold. You isolate yourself." "You told me not to come," I interrupted, and I listened. Kelly grabbed the phone. "Dad, he's lost it. He changed the locks. He's stalking me," he planted. "Oh please," I said, taking the phone back. "Why don't you tell him what's really in the box?" Silence. "Dad," I said, steady, "do you know who's been opening credit cards in my name? Do you know who ran up over $6,000 in debt using my identity?" Another pause. "Is that true?" Dad asked. "No," Kelly shouted. "He's lying, he's just trying to be dramatic." "Then why does Capital One have her email linked to an account with my social security number?" I said. "Why are there charges from stores she shops at, and my name?" Still no answer. "But the best part," I added, picking up a speaker from the shelf, "is this." I pressed play. Her voice came out loud and clear. "He's so easy to manipulate. I could burn the apartment down and he'd still pay my phone bill." Her face went pale. "That's out of context, really." I raised an eyebrow. "What's the context of, he deserves to suffer?" Silence. From her, from Dad, from everything. Then, a knock at the door. Soft, unexpected. I opened it. It was Mom, and behind her, Adam, Kelly's ex-boyfriend. "What are you doing here?" Kelly started. "I need to talk to you," Adam said, "both of you." His voice shook, not from fear, but from anger. "I just found out someone's been using my name too. 2 iPhones ordered, a hotel booked in my name. They called me for payment today." He turned to Kelly. "Was it you?" She opened her mouth, closed it, tried again. Why would I do that?" He looked at the box on the table, the flash drive, the papers, the speaker still glowing red. "I think you should leave," he said. "What now?" Kelly snapped. "I'm staying here," Adam said, walking in. I stiffened. "What do you mean, here?" "I mean, if you'll let me crash for a few days," he said to me. "Looks like we've both been fooled by the same person. Maybe it's time we stop letting her win." Kelly looked shocked, like she'd been slapped. "You're taking his side?" "I'm done taking the side of liars," Adam said. She stood there frozen, no fake crying, no clever words, just silence. "Don't worry," I said, tossing her coat from the chair. "Your stuff's in the hallway, next to the trash. Feel free to guess which is which." She left. No yelling, no guilt trips, just footsteps and the elevator doors closing. The morning after, my apartment felt quiet, but in a good way, the kind of quiet you earn. I stood in the kitchen, holding a mug of reheated coffee, watching steam curl up. I thought I'd feel guilty. I didn't. No sadness, no second thoughts, just peace. Adam was still asleep on the couch, snoring under the blanket I gave him. He hadn't said much after Kelly left, just nodded, mumbled, "Finally," and knocked out. When he woke up, he noticed my laptop open. "You're working already?" he asked. "I'm getting my money back," I said. He sat up, rubbing his face. "What, like calling the cops?" "More than that." I turned the laptop toward him. "I'm making this official. Step 1, the claim." I had already started gathering proof the night she left. I made folders of credit card statements, login records, my bank history, receipts with her name using my info. I filed a police report for identity theft and contacted all the credit card companies. Capital One responded first. They confirmed it was fraud and refunded me. By Friday, I got an email, $6,438.72 has been returned to your account. I leaned back in my chair and finally felt like I could breathe. Step 2, the calculation. I opened a spreadsheet and started adding things up. 18 months of paying for both of us, rent, $950 per month. Utilities, $180 per month. Groceries, $400 per month. Her random emergencies, $100 to $500 each time. The total? $17,892. That didn't even include the stress, skipped meals, or double shifts I worked to stay afloat. I took screenshots, saved them to a flash drive, and called a lawyer. Step 3, the lawsuit. I'm not just upset about the credit, I told the lawyer. She used me for over a year, and my parents helped her do it. He was sharp, expensive shoes, confident smile. Do you have proof? He asked. I gave him the flash drive. He plugged it in, clicked around, and raised his eyebrows. You tracked every dollar, he said, and your parents? They added my name to their bills without telling me. I found the contracts. He whistled. This isn't just identity theft, this is long-term financial abuse. Do we have a case? Then he smiled. Oh, we've got a very public one. Step 4, the explosion. 3 weeks later, on a rainy Wednesday, 3 certified letters were delivered to my parents' house. One for Kelly. One for Mom. One for Dad. All from the law office of Keller and Moore. 20 minutes later, my phone rang. It was Mom. What are you doing? She yelled. Good morning to you, too, I said. You're suing us? After everything we've done for you? Everything you've done to me, I corrected. We're your family. And you put my name on your bills without asking, that's fraud. It was just paperwork. No, it was theft. You're making this into a big deal. You told me not to come to Christmas. Silence. Then her voice got lower. We raised you, we let you live here. I paid for everything, I wasn't living there, I was supporting you, there's a difference. Step 5, the ally. 3 days later, my grandmother called. I hadn't heard from her in months. Kelly once told me, Nana's tired of your drama, don't call her anymore. But now, her voice was strong. I saw the lawsuit, she said, and I saw the bank statement. My heart sank. You saw the bond? She sighed. Your father cashed out over $9,000 from a savings bond made in your name. He used it to pay off Kelly's old car. I sat down. You didn't know? I didn't even know it was gone, I said. Well, she said, it's not anymore. I moved the money and froze the account. It's back in your name, where it belongs. I didn't know what to say. Then she added. I also changed my will. The house is yours now. I know you'll take care of it. I blinked. Nana, why? Because, she said. You never asked for anything. And you're the only one who kept the receipts. Kelly walked in wearing beige, like she was trying to get sympathy. Mom wore black. Dad didn't even look at me. My lawyer laid everything out, papers with statements, recordings, text messages, bank fraud, misuse of power of attorney, fake accounts, savings bond theft. Kelly tried to cry. Mom acted confused. Dad just looked tired. But the judge wasn't tired. Is it true you put your son's name on financial papers without his permission? She asked my mom. Well, it was, family. Ma'am, yes or no? There was silence. Yes, Mom finally whispered. The judge ruled quickly. $13,000 in restitution. All fraudulent debts cleared. Court costs covered. A formal warning on their records. 2 weeks later, I got a letter, handwritten, no return address. It was from Kelly. I knew her handwriting. Are you happy now? You've made your point. Inside was a photo of us as kids, sitting under the Christmas tree. I looked at it, at the way she clung to me, like I was the only thing keeping her up. I grabbed a pen and wrote on the back, you let go first. Then I burned the photo. It's funny how silence feels when you've earned it. The aftermath. 3 months after the court case, I hadn't heard from my parents. No texts, no calls, not even a birthday card. And you know what? That was fine. No more explaining myself. No more proving I wasn't a disappointment. No more, you should understand how hard Kelly has it. No more, you're the stable one, we need you. My life was mine again. I stayed in the same apartment, but for the first time, it really felt like mine. The fridge only had food I bought. The Wi-Fi wasn't hijacked. The sink wasn't clogged. No more passive-aggressive notes about things I paid for. Same walls. Same couch. Same view. But the silence? That was new. The peace? Unfamiliar, quiet, powerful. The cost, sometimes people ask. Wasn't it hard? Wasn't it cruel to cut off your whole family? My answer is always the same. It was necessary. I spent too many years shrinking myself to make them comfortable. Smiling through insults. Writing checks instead of setting boundaries. Letting them call me selfish for not giving them everything. while they gave me nothing but guilt. The real cruelty was how long I let it happen. When I stopped being the obedient son and the generous brother, I saw the truth. They didn't miss me. They missed what I gave them. The message. One afternoon in May, I checked my email. Subject: Your sister isn't doing well. It was from a woman named Tessa, one of Kelly's old friends. The message was short and cold. She's couch hopping, lost her job again, says you ruined her life, thought you'd want to know. I stared at the screen for a while. Then I hit delete. Not because I didn't care, but because caring doesn't mean going back. The last encounter. One day, I ran into my dad at a gas station. We looked at each other across the pump. He looked older, smaller, like someone who had run out of excuses. He came over, not angry, but with a kind of shame. You look good, he said. I nodded. He looked down. You know your mom's still mad. I didn't answer. She says you ruined Christmas. I raised an eyebrow. That's funny, she started it with don't come, I just listened. He sighed. Families fight, son. No, I said. Families fight for each other. You fought for Kelly, you never fought for me. He had no response. He just stood there, waiting for me to let him back in. I didn't. I got in my car. Drove away. And it felt like peace. This wasn't revenge. It was freedom. Let me make something clear. This wasn't about getting back at anyone. It wasn't about punishing anyone. It wasn't even about proving I was right, even though I was. This was about letting go of a life where love was a transaction. Letting go of guilt that was never mine. Letting go of the version of me that begged to be seen, heard, and valued. I didn't set out to destroy my family. I just stopped destroying myself to protect them. People like Kelly, people who take and twist, they survive because others keep taking the hits. I stopped taking them. And the whole system fell apart. Not because I broke it, but because I walked away. And for the first time, I felt alive. The unexpected closure. 2 weeks ago, I got a package, no return address. Inside was an envelope with one photograph, me and Ellie, Kelly's daughter, from years ago. She was maybe 4. Sitting on my shoulders. Laughing. Gripping my face with her tiny hands. On the back, in shaky handwriting, I'm sorry for how my mom treated you. Thank you for everything. Ellie. I stared at it until the words blurred. I don't know how she got my address. Maybe my grandmother. Maybe fate. But that note? It made everything worth it. I keep that photo in my desk drawer. Not because it ties me to the past. But because it reminds me, walking away doesn't mean you stop loving. It means you start loving yourself more. And that's not revenge. That's freedom.